everyone. We're doing what I now think of as kind of an old school video where I'm just talking to you while you get to look at the things on my altar, including that beautiful sunflower and this really cool red flickering candle that my friend sent me. And I miss videos like this. I like just talking to you all. I don't always feel like appearing on camera. I'm all dressed for work right now. I just came home. And I know I have this very like specific feeling of energy when it's a call to make a video. And I don't always know if it's because somebody needs to hear something. I don't know. Not really my job to question. It's my job to listen to spirit and to keep that relationship. And in return, I get to be a channel to help other people and help myself. So these voiceover things, I guess it's not a voiceover, it's just a audio. I think they're nice because, you can just like listen to me talk. You can just listen to the words, put your phone in your pocket if you want, like go on about your time or just sit like we're having a chat. It's almost a new moon, and I have some complicated feelings about the moon, but I am quite certain, I do know how it affects people, whatever's going on up there. And new moon energy to me has always felt, dark and black, not in the obvious way, like, yeah, the moon looks dark and black. But like the full moon always feels different shades of like crazy in a good way, like, amped up energy, like anything could happen, like what's going to be the next thing, and high excitement there, although I wouldn't want to live in that state all the time. It's fun. And new moon comes around, and quite often it feels like you're sort of in a hole, like, oh, what's going on? Like, it's just everybody, people who aren't normally are upset. Things that aren't normally that big of a deal are a big deal. Honestly, like if you're a person who menstruates, it's quite similar. That feeling, a day or a couple days before that cycle, everything can sometimes feel kind of inverted. I always think of it as, the cue to withdraw from regular life and go into our power and go into, a different time. And we're not in that society, at least here, where we can, go into the red tent or go retreat for a while. Most of us anyway. So it's almost this new moon, and I've been working so hard to step fully into my power and fully into my alignment. And boy, what a trip. I wish you were all sitting in front of me because I want to talk to you about this. Where are you in your alignment? Where's your life? How is it panning out? Are you doing things the way that you want to be doing them most or all of the time? What things have you had to let go? What things are you afraid to let go? Like, yeah, I'll step in my alignment. I'll be centered, grounded. I'll be my most fully magic self, but I can't let this one thing go. Not if it costs me this thing. Basically, are you willing to go to any lengths to be your truest self and unleash your, I don't want to say your joy. Like, there's no descriptor for like what everybody's truest self is, but we're at this point in our evolution where it's almost mandatory. We have to be our truest self. We have to live authentically, and not just some of the time or part of the time or when we're in, community or in a circle or a ceremony with people who are of like mind, all the time, at the grocery store, when we go to bed, when we get up, when we're walking around, when we're going to school, when we're going to work. It doesn't matter what your job is. It doesn't matter what you do for school. We need to be walking as ourselves. And that's what I'm inviting you to do. And if you're already doing that, I'm going to cheer you on and say, don't give up. it can be tempting to go, oh, this is never going to lead me anywhere. I'm just going to play by society's rules. And I'm not saying, don't go play by society's rules. Like, be a good citizen out there. But we all know that there's more than what we were raised to think. The old energy is gone. It is no more. Our parents' generation, it's just not something we can replicate. We're not supposed to. Nothing was, taken from us, or we haven't been robbed of anything. If anything, we have an even cooler option out there, to walk authentically, to not be judged by our material stuff, to not be judged by our job or how many children we have or we don't have, or what churches or religious sectors we visit or we don't visit. We have begun to learn as a collective to see each other's hearts and to respond to that energy. And there is no perfection. Those of you thinking, well, I've been looking for utopia. I haven't found it. There's no such thing. That's not a human thing. That's a human fantasy. But really, that's called death. Really, that's called there's nowhere to do, nowhere to go, nowhere to grow, no, problems to solve. That's not the end game here. It's to find out who you are. It's to allow your soul to grow and your oversoul to go, oh, okay, and learn some lessons. We're just here learning. As a friend of mine says, do good things. We're here to do good things. We're here to do bad things. We're here to do just regular things, neutral things. We're just here to do stuff, do things, learn, figure it out. And another thing that same friend says is we aren't here to learn. We don't really learn. Our soul learns or doesn't learn. So that changed my perspective, and I felt the truth as soon as I heard those words. But anyway, where are you on your path? Are you walking as yourself all the time? And I'm here to tell you, I'm just going to be brave and say, I'm not walking as myself all the time. And I know because there are some things in my life, and I just made a video saying pretty much everything I do when I get up is something I want to be doing. And that's still true. But there are things in my life that are presenting themselves as, hey, you did this thing and it was great. And now it's time to put it down. And it was not on the timeline that, my logical mind says is correct. So, a little segue, I went on a mushroom walk this morning with an expert. Always go with an expert. And a group of people, including some little kids and some pets. It was really fun. And I tried. The leader of this group was talking about how mushroom spirit communicates with us all the time. He has a very deep relationship with mushrooms in the woods. And here, we were looking for maitake mushrooms. We found turkey tail. We found some puffballs. We found some death's cap, which can kill you, I believe. Don't eat them. But he has a very deep relationship with all fungi. And he really listens with his heart. And I thought, what a great invitation. So I'm going to invite you to listen with your heart. And I'm going to do the same thing I did on that mushroom walk today. And just tell the brain to hush. Try to feel, try to see through the lens of your heart. Just try it for a minute, right now, or write it down. Forget. Do it tomorrow. Just see what happens. See what it feels like. See if you can feel anything different than when you're trying to think with your head. Let's walk our paths together. I like these pauses, these reflective, quiet pauses. And it's okay if it's a little bit scary, but it's so empowering. And it doesn't have to happen overnight. Just keep on walking. Lots of love and encouragement. You're so worth it. And I really hope to hear, either by private message or you can put it in the comments there, something about how you're aligning with yourself. There's a huge waking up going on right now. Good night.